everyone, and welcome to the first of our Card A Cuppas, or virtual Card A Cuppas for November 2025. Just bear with me for 1 second whilst I actually try and find where I am. This is really odd. I thought I had gone live, but I may not have. Oh wow, what on earth is going on? Let me for a second just go to home, go back into that. You've got to love it when it doesn't. Oh, it says it's live. I'll just stand up and double check then, because I can't see the top of my stand that my phone is added to. Let's try again. How odd. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and hope somehow that this is okay, because I really don't know what's going on. Is it under reels? Oh, it looks like it is. How weird. Oh well, I think that's it. I think that's live. I don't know why it's there, but hey, never mind. Okay, so yes, I said first Card A Cuppa for November 2025. And we're going a bit green today, so apologies if this foil sort of looks a bit too bright and reflects too much. I don't think it's too bad, I'm just kind of looking at it, but I'm hoping that things are going to be okay. So that was the kit, and I'll go through it in a minute, and then these are two of the cards that I have made. So this was a card that I made as my original sample for today. It's pretty straightforward. It's a white card base, and then we have a panel of this green foil, 3 panels of the paper, fussy cut tree, and another bit of foil going across. And I put them all together this way. I stamped a sentiment on some scrap and cut it out, and then did a similar thing. Well, actually it's identical really, except with a much smaller tree. The paper, the trees come from the same paper that we were using for the card, and it wasn't a Stampin' Up paper, it was something I bought in a craft shop in the States when I was over there. So I couldn't for the life of me actually tell you what it was called, because it didn't have a name. I think it just said forest. So that's what I did. So everyone had 3 strips and a tree to fussy cut. I'm not going to bore you with the fussy cutting because I have already done it. So that's going to save me some time and save you from a bit of boredom. So as I said, envelope, because I have to have an envelope. I have my green foil. It's very shiny. I know there are a few people who just cannot stand green, but it's Christmas, or at least it's coming up to Christmas. I'm not going to say it's Christmas already, because it's not. And then I'm going to match up the paper with this is Old Olive, this cardstock, and also try and match up the actual 3 pieces. So that tree goes across, and then this tree here goes across, and that little bit there is a continuation of that. Now on my original card, you can see I actually, the Old Olive panels are identical in size, in length I should say, or height, to the green foil. Not sure I want to do that. Might just chop it down a little bit. So I need to remember, I need to cut 1/2 centimetre off all of these, and be sure which way I'm cutting, because I don't want to cut 1/2 centimetre off the top there and the next one 1/2 centimetre off the bottom, because then our pieces of paper won't align and you won't have an image going right across. So I've grabbed this and then realised that actually it doesn't have 1/2 centimetres. Just bear with me 2 ticks. It's not often I do this, thank goodness. And I just have to go and get my trimmer. I'm not going to run back because I'll slip. Right, I am back. So I'm going to cut off 1/2 centimetre off the tops of all of these pieces. I'm going to do the paper first, just so that I know that I have done them. So I'm going to use on my trimmer the 1/2 centimetre mark that's on the right hand side, because then I know that my paper has been lie flat to do that. Let's get these 2 out of the way. There they are. Right, so this one wants to have 1/2 centimetre off. Oops. So, and then this one, and then I need to take the 1/2 centimetre off the cardstock. Cardstock, luckily, doesn't actually matter if I take it from the top and bottom. It's just cardstock. So, from that point of view, it's nothing. Just simply do that. I just make sure that I am actually only doing the 1 piece of cardstock at a time. I haven't done it on 2 or twice on 1 piece. That would be a bit of a disaster. Right, okay. Let's put that there. So I have my 3 pieces. And I don't even know at this stage if I'm going to use all 3. I might do something slightly different. So I have, there's that. And where's my panel? Is I might just put that on there. And it's the nice thing about having these kits is that you can actually use them how you want. Just because I've made a card a particular way doesn't mean that you actually have to follow it. You can go completely off-piste and do your own thing. I have no problem with it. And I think there were a couple of people who might have done something a little different this morning, but not that many. Sometimes there's quite a few people. I got the dregs of the glue from Card A Cuppa. I gave them all new pots a couple of months ago and I'm still emptying out what was left in the previous pots, which means that we do have to sort of knock them at times just to get the glue moving. I do tend to store my glue upside down, but when I'm working I forget to do that, and then all the glue sinks down to the bottom. But hey ho. Right, so I'm going to glue these onto here. Like so, with a gap in between, and then I'm going to cut off that excess foil there. Let's see, ruler. Do I have a ruler? No. Let's try it on this, because it is, although it's in inches, that's okay. So if I cut this down to 2 3/4 inches and see what happens. these two, like that. Or it could probably even go down a bit smaller. But where's the card base? That's the card base. That's going to go on there, like that. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to cut that down a bit more. And then I'm going to put my tree, instead of on there, I'm going to, I don't know. Do I want to use that piece? I'm not sure. Right, let's stick these down and cut it and glue it on. And then I can't keep changing my mind. Now, one thing you have to be careful when you're working with glue and foil is not to get the glue and spread it all over the foil, because it does not come off. As try as you might, it makes an almighty mess. So you do need to be careful with it. I hope I put the right one on and the right way round. Because that's a bit of a problem if it's not the right way round. Try and get roughly the same gap between as I have here. Which means I do need to trim this slightly. I'm going to use my mini guillotine for that because I don't really want to try running it all through my trimmer. So let's see, don't need to take too much off. Let's say right. Give that a quick burnish. So that's my tree. And the idea was I would put the tree there, or there, and I was going to put a sentiment actually on the white. So I've got my little Merry Christmas. I don't know if it'll fit in there. Just about. Okay, so let's go for it. I'm going to glue this piece on. Or maybe I won't actually, because if I do make a boo-boo, I want to be able to not have this glued on so I could correct it if needs be. Let's see, I've got two choices of ink here. I've got Mossy Meadow and Old Olive. I only took Old Olive with me this morning, and just so you can just about see the difference, this is the Mossy Meadow and this is the Old Olive, so there is a slight difference in the greens. This tree is quite light, so I think I might go with the Old Olive rather than the Mossy Meadow. And because this stamp is clear, thank goodness, I can just simply stamp direct to here. Oops. It would be even better if I made sure that I had actually got ink on everything, but not the block. Oh dear. Oops. Don't want that upside down. So that's going to go here. Okay, that's fine. glue this one on as well. Like so. Like that. And I'm going to put the tree on just so that it's mostly over the white. I'm not sure. I could do it half and half, or I can do it mostly on the white, and I can't decide which I like better. I put it there, then we've kind of got sort of like almost a rectangle there for that. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And but I'm going to add this with some foam pads, just to give it some dimension, because everything else on here so far I've actually just glued direct to the card base, so there's no extra height on it. Let's see. I think I might want to put a little bit on that piece there at the top. So I'll put that in there, and I might want to put just a little bit into that. What is the tree trunk? So this this stamp was a Uniko one. What was that called? That was Christmas Sentiments. So it looks like this, so it's got all sorts of things on. So you can make your own. I went for the small Mary and the larger Christmas, but there's a much larger Mary, so the same height as the Christmas. So it's nice to have like a small font and a larger font. Just thought it would be a bit of a change. Right, let's remove these. I can peel them off. So at least you don't have to watch me fussy cutting the tree out. You just have to watch me trying to take the backings off the foam pads off instead. I know some people use a pokey tool to pierce it and lift it, but I don't know, I've tried that and I just don't seem to have the knack to do it. I don't know why. But hey, doesn't take too long. I think I said I was going to put it there, wasn't I? So we had like a rectangle there. Let's see. Now it looks a bit, from here it looks a bit wonky because we've got the height of the this piece that's been mounted on there, so it does look as if it's sort of leaning a bit, but I think I can get away with that. Now I do have a piece of, I nearly panicked then thinking I've actually gone and put it so that it was the wrong way around. So I do have a piece of a strip of the paper that I could stick in there, or I also have two pine trees, so pine trees, fir trees, sort of will fit in with this style of tree. This is from Grassy Grove, so this is one of my old Stampin' Up stamp sets, so it's this particular one. So I could stamp that on the inside or use the paper. I think I might stamp. This is why I have to hope I don't go wrong, because I have actually glued the card together. It would be a bit of a disaster if I do make a boo-boo, but hey. Live dangerously. Normally I would say stamp your inside before you glue your front together. There's nothing to stop you from actually putting the front together, just don't glue the panel direct onto the card front. Right, that can go here. Let's just make sure that makes good contact. There we go. So that's my inside of my card, and I'm going to do my envelope too. Make sure that's the right way around, and I'm not stamping it the wrong way. Double check. So I'm going to stamp them onto here. That's it. Right, so that is it. It was a very quick card. Now I have gone slightly off piece compared to the other ones that the one that I had made and the one that I made at Card A Cuppa today. So I'm just looking for my lid for my glue. That's that. I do still have that and that piece. So I've still got a few bits left that I can make into another card somehow. Put my brain in gear. So let's see, I'll show you all three cards. So that was today's, well, this afternoon's I should say. This was the one that I made this morning at Card A Cuppa. And this is the one that I made as my sample. Let's see if I can get them all in. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing those. I hope this has actually recorded the whole thing and not just a short piece for a reel. So I will put the whole thing onto YouTube because Facebook delete everything now after a month. So this will go onto my YouTube channel and it will be there for however long I leave my YouTube channel on. So I hope you enjoyed that. There's the next Card A Cuppa in 2 weeks. Monday we have our craft and chat at 4:30. So if you feel like hanging out with us and doing some crafting, if you need half an hour, 45 minutes to actually sit and just do some crafting without anybody interrupting you, then please feel free and join us. The details you'll find on the Creating with Fiona website under Craft and Chat. Okay, thanks a lot. Take care. Oh, and enjoy the fireworks tonight, being 5th of November. But stay safe. Stay safe. Okay, bye.